AOC, I can't wait to fucking debate you. If you even have the balls. The balls, that's why I said balls. What are you gonna do? Oh, she used the word balls. Watch out. If you have the balls to debate me, we can do it on fucking pay-per-view, bitch. Huh? How do you like that, motherfucker? Fuck out of here.
Who the hell
I can't
is
wait
that?
Huh?
Who the hell is that?
It's AOC's Republican challenger. Her name's Tina Forte, but that's the lady who's always like she's always like Trump 2020 motherfuckers.
I think she's got a good chance.
Of beating AOC. Yeah. This is Deb's entire family, by the way.
Yeah.
Where they're like from Staten Island and they're on steroids and they do CrossFit and you're like, I don't know if you like me or not, but I guess I don't really care. I don't know if I should visit you at your house. Everyone's screaming, everybody's mad, everybody hates AOC.
But my family's not mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, your family thinks all that stuff. They just say
it quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're polite. Polite members of society.
Right.
Anyway, how we doing, everybody? It's January. Happy New Year to all the listeners out there. It's the Sits, Mike and Deb here at the Sit Down. It is the show that nobody really listens to, but we're still putting out episodes. We're still cranking them out. We're still here.
That's my husband. So positive. Just, using all his time wisely.
Yeah. Well, you can't really deny the numbers of where they are.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you could put more effort towards it, but
yeah, I'll turn it around.
Here nor there.
I'll turn it around if I feel like it. It's not like there's a baby.
Probably is here and there.
It's not like there's a baby crawling around the house all day that I'm trying to make not die.
Yeah, you don't even look at him. I feel like.
Yeah.
You just.
Well, I do.
I walked in the door and there's like newspaper torn up all over the floor. The baby's knee deep in dog food and covered in coffee stains.
Sometimes what I'll do is when I watch him, I'll be sitting on the couch, I'll be on my phone, and then he'll like poke his head up like a little prairie dog because he's like crawling now, and I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
You're alive.
This makes me think like maybe we should send him to daycare where he'd have some like human interaction.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like Mowgli in our apartment.
Yeah. Well, it's very hard when you're a married guy because it's like your wife wants you to. You're expected to.
Everything's so hard for me.
You're expected to watch your kid.
Interact with your child.
You're expected to watch your kid, but you're also expected to make $1 million. You're always telling me that you want me to make $1 million.
Yeah, I'd love for you to make $1 million.
I'm literally sitting here.
I mean, I feel like I deserve $1 million for all the work.
You totally deserve $1 million.
Yeah. For
all the work and everything you've been through in your life.
Yeah, but you.
Not just me though,
big.
because of your family as well.
You're a big one.
Huh? You feel like you're owed $1 million because of me?
You are a lot of work. Yeah, Mike, you are a lot of work.
I'm not saying that you don't deserve $1 million.
All day long, I could just, do whatever Mike wants, and then at the end of the day, he still could be like, oh my God, there's not enough time in the day. I don't know how come I got nothing done, even though I slouched on the couch scrolling through TikTok and Twitter all fucking day long.
Yeah, nobody cares about the stuff that I get done. I'm just saying that there's a lot of pressure on guys because it's like oh you got to be a good father and then but you got to raise your kid and you have to make a lot of money, and I'm not doing either. I'm not being a good father and I'm not making a lot of money. I'm making some money. I'm making a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
But I'm not making a ton of money.
Well, you better start showing your nipples or something, cause
something.
Yeah.
You don't think if I could, I would?
Did you even try? Is there a Patreon level like Mike's nipples?
I don't think that would. I don't think that would
month?
sell. I don't think anybody would go for that.
You don't even. This is. You got to get the ideas out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think people would pay for my nipples, but you can pay for bonus content over on Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/sitdownpod. $5 a month gets you a short little show.
I'll sneak you little pictures
4
of
days a week.
Mike's body. It can be like one of those zoomed in pictures and you guess what body part it is. Mm-hmm. It's like it looks like an ass, but it's just your elbow and arm.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying though. It's like you know, it's a lot to be like to be home with your kid and to and to watch your kid and to work on building your empire.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's tough.
It's like hard.
Yeah, when the kid needs you
It's
all
like
the time.
legit hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you got to make sure he doesn't like eat a broom or something or whatever he's doing.
But do you make sure he doesn't eat the broom? Because I seen videos of you letting him.
But I'm just
eat
saying it's
leashes
hard.
and
I'm just saying it's hard to get that.
It's hard to have.
It's hard to
see
do
your
both.
son eat a broom.
It's hard to do both.
Yeah.
You're annoying. I'm just saying it's hard to. You're like you want me to make $1 million, but I feel like to make $1 million, I have to neglect you and my kid.
You can
That's how I
neglect
feel.
me, just don't neglect our kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you could like look up from your
But
phone every 20 minutes and like read him a book.
Uh-huh.
You could do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure like not all the stuff you're doing is useful.
Yeah. Like what?
Like the poison that you ingest by scrolling through Twitter all day, I think that rots your brain. Like, I think you used to be smarter, and then you developed a Twitter addiction.
Right, but here's the thing, though.
Which now has been amplified by TikTok.
But there's this idea where it's like, there's this idea with social media where people go, don't just scroll through social media all day. Like, get out and do stuff and create and make your own thing. And don't get bogged down in the poison of social media. But that sort of implies that, like, what you want me to do is create content so that I can put on social media to ruin other people's lives.
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm. So how do you participate in that? How do you ethically participate in that system where it's like you're putting out stuff so then somebody else might put their dreams on the back burner because they're watching your bullshit?
Is this what you convince yourself?
No, I'm just
so
saying
you're
it's,
like,
it's,
oh,
it's just
fine
it's definitely
that
like
I'm
a it's
not
definitely
being
like a moral quandary.
I don't know. Social media has been pretty good for myself and my career.
Uh-huh.
I've sold a lot of speech therapy materials.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I try to be very realistic and positive on my social media feed.
Uh-huh.
And people tell me often
How
that...
do you be realistic and positive, though?
Because, like, for instance, lately a challenge has been trying to get the baby to sleep the way some sleep consultants post about on Instagram, which is, like, super unattainable for me for some reason. I don't know. My baby doesn't want to be put into the crib drowsy so he can peacefully go to sleep on his own.
Is that what they tell you to do?
Yes.
Put the kid in the crib drowsy,
but awake. And then they said if they fall asleep, put them in the crib and then wake them up so that they can fall back to sleep on their own.
That sounds crazy.
Like Benjamin would scream for a long time. So whatever, I nursed my baby to sleep. He's sleeping right now. He's in the crib. He's fine.
Yeah.
And I posted about that today, and many people are like, "Thank you for saying that," because I felt guilty.
That's another weird thing too about social media. All the like tips and hacks and the like. There's only so many.
I don't want any of your tips or hacks.
There's only so many hacks. There's only so many things you can hack.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a problem or not, but I really don't like any advice or opinions.
Yeah.
It's really just something I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I don't admire that many people.
Right.
So when they try to advise me, I'm like, why would I listen to you?
Yeah.
I don't admire you.
Yeah, I don't really care for teachers or anybody who's trying to teach you stuff. I don't know. It's just not. Yeah, it's never. It just feels like horseshit to me.
Yeah.
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 And then it's also like there's only so much that you can teach people.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, I saw this one Instagram graphic that I liked. It said, "Nobody makes money if you bed share and nurse your baby to sleep."
Why?
nobody makes money from that because you don't need
Oh,
to
'cause
call a
it's like
sleep consultant.
Because it's like it's like a
Because
straightforward
you can
thing.
do it yourself. Yeah.
Right.
And your baby will go to sleep easily.
Right.
But I don't know. It depends, though, because sometimes people don't, like, bed sharing doesn't work for everyone. It works for us, though. And whatever.
Yeah.
I
Our
don't
kid
know.
is going to be sleeping in our bed until he's 40 years old,
That
I
is
think.
not
Which is
realistic.
fine.
He will, like, sleep will be independent after a while. They outgrow bed sharing and all the nursing and stuff. So it's not really a concern. My stepsister Jillian has 4 kids, and she bed shared and nursed all 4 of them for 2 years, and they are old geezers now and fine.
All right. Well, let's get into the news a little bit today. I saw a news story that I don't know. I guess it really. I feel like the public, the general narrative about COVID is changing a little bit. I think people are. You're seeing more of a mainstream kind of pushback against what we're hearing from like the government and the media.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, were the anti-vaxxers right? Ugh.
No, the anti-vaxxers weren't. What if they go to heaven? all the anti-vaxxers who died go to heaven.
Oh, damn it.
That's how you're guaranteed a spot in the Lord's kingdom if you don't get vaccinated. God is like some weird like lady who lives in a trailer park, and she's like, nice. I knew y'all were a true believer of my
Do you have
my
COVID
teaching.
stats though?
Huh?
Like this new COVID,
Yeah.
the unicorn one.
Yeah.
That one like doesn't kill people.
It's not as deadly. Yeah, and I think it's a little more mild if you have the vaccine.
But have people died from it?
I think a few people have, yeah.
And were they all not vaccinated?
I don't know.
So why don't we have that information?
I don't know. I don't know,
Bullshit.
but it's nice that people's sort of like perceptions of the virus are kind of changing. Like I saw a article today that was like the first case of flu-rona was detected.
Yeah, my mom texted me about flu-rona. They must have had it on Fox News.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like
flu-rona.
But see, it sounds like bullshit, doesn't it?
It's like, what brand of COVID did you have?
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
think
like
we had old OG COVID, right?
We had OG COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this says flu-rona is not a so there was a headline that said a COVID testing site. What if we just did our whole show about headlines that we read, and that's it? A COVID testing site at the Getty Center has detected LA's first case of flu-rona, a combination of influenza and coronavirus. But so they're framing this like it's some sort of combined mutation of the two viruses.
Right.
Which it's like, okay, but influenza is not as bad as COVID.
Right,
you know?
But you had a cousin that died from the flu.
Yeah, but she was a bad person.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah, she was a real scumbagio.
Why? Because she like licked your other cousin or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Mike's uptight family couldn't handle that there.
Why are you telling a story? But you're bringing up a story out of context. I don't even remember like exactly what happened.
I don't think you told me the story. I'm about to say it.
Okay.
So this woman was a cousin. She became an actress.
Yeah.
She got a bunch of like print ads and some commercial work.
Yeah.
And I guess she was a little quirky. So I guess maybe it was one holiday. She came into the house and instead of greeting a family member hello, she just like licked their cheek.
Who?
Your cousin that died, Eleanor.
Yeah, but who did she lick?
I don't recall.
Oh.
It's not my story.
Great.
But you told me this.
Yeah.
But I don't know why she's a bad person. That's the only story.
She's she was just very right wing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, so but they're sort of framing this as like it's like a super virus or something.
Right.
When really it's just somebody who has the flu and corona at the same time.
Well, that person's not very lucky.
No.
And was it just one person that made all this
I
news?
think so. Yeah.
Wow, good for them. How are
Yeah.
they doing now?
I don't know. They have 600,000 TikTok followers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently that means nothing.
Yeah.
There's no there's you don't get anything for extra TikTok followers.
Mhm.
Like if they did stand up, I don't know that all 600,000 of them would come.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I feel like people's trust in the media is starting to sort of like people are starting to notice that the media doesn't really have much to talk about if it's not COVID or if it's not, Trump.
Yeah, because for the past year, like news was the only show, so
Yeah.
the ratings were likely like through the roof.
Yeah.
And now they have to try harder to get people to tune in.
Yeah, but it's also like, right. But it's also just kind of like I don't really trust anything that's coming from anywhere on the news, and it's like, I mean, theoretically, for a society to function, you should have trust in your media, and
right? Mike only gets underground news because he's like,
why have you been insulting me the whole show? Do you want to do this? Do you want to work together as a team? Or do you want to just fucking bring the show down?
I'm sorry.
You have such a shitty attitude tonight.
Oh, I do. I don't.
I've
mean
never
to.
I've never seen you with a worse attitude.
Really?
Yeah, you're like trying to sabotage the show. It feels like you're trying to ruin the show. Can you fucking?
No, I'm sorry. I just
can you?
like Mike's like an underground news guy.
I am.
He unearths the real news.
Yeah, I'm glad this is fun for you.
Okay, sorry.
But where was I? What were we even fucking talking about?
The media, you can't trust them.
Yeah, you can't trust the media. Your uncle was right about everything. No, but it just like I don't know. It feels like people are definitely exhausted and they're like sick of this stuff, but people are getting tired of the constant like reporting and like worrying and the belly aching about it.
Yeah,
'Cause there's
I feel
something
like the
about-
attitude now is like, well, everyone's just gonna get COVID.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the attitude around the holiday season.
Yeah.
It was
there's
either like
something-
lockdown or whatever. We're all gonna get it.
Yeah.
We walked into Mike's family's house and Fox News was on, and they were saying how they were calling him Fauci the Grinch was trying to steal everyone's holiday joy.
Oh, they were.
That's what the news said.
Is there another Grinch? And is his name Anthony Fauci? We'll be details at 11. Oh yeah, how Fauci stole Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that to my mom, and she was like, "Well, it's true."
But then I'm like, do you trust? I mean, you see on one side of the divide, there's like worship of Fauci,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know. But do you like trust everything that Fauci says?
No, trust no
when
one.
he's like no, but when he's but you have to have some people that you trust or some sources that you trust, don't you?
I guess so. To me, trust is just about reliability. So I trust that it is unlikely that many people are telling me the truth because it's, I trust that they're not being honest.
Yeah.
Just because of like consistency, you know?
Yeah.
Their record.
But like on one hand, you have this like worship. On one side, you have this worship of Fauci, and then on the other side, you have this like people want him like hung.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of those sides are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like anyone with too strong of opinions. How you could be so sure. You can't be like so sure he's completely awful.
Yeah.
And so sure that he is like the best.
Yeah.
He's like the highest paid doctor, right?
Yeah. But there is something about him that's just a little like kind of
Italian.
What do you mean Italian? What do you mean? No, he's very Italian. There's something about him that's very like authoritative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He's like authoritative and kind of. Sometimes he comes off a little condescending, maybe. Not super. By the way, I did go on Etsy yesterday and I looked. They're still selling Cuomo-sexual shirts, which I don't know who is selling or who is buying them.
Yeah.
But hopefully they're just like for day laborers to wear or something when they go to
It's
work.
not like the Etsy store is going to be like out of business.
No, I know, but is it just a guy in Bosnia who doesn't know that about the scandal?
No one told him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't understand these Cuomo-sexual shirts. They were selling so good, and now we don't sell a single one. Kids, I'm afraid there's no presents for Christmas this year. We didn't sell any Cuomo-sexual shirts. Let's talk about this. I was reading an article about Seigfried and Roy in the New York Post.
Oh.
And
There's still the two of them?
well, they're both dead.
Oh, okay.
One died last year, and then one died in 2020.
Oh.
But there was a
Did they have COVID?
Roy died of COVID. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So there was in 2003, Roy was mauled by a tiger. So they were like this huge act. They performed at the Mirage. They were sort of key in turning in like the changing of Vegas from when Vegas went from the mob run stuff to more of a corporate tigers. Yeah, they were like symbolic of that that era. What
are we gonna do to replace all of these flashy mobsters?
I got an idea. Yeah, but so in 2003, Roy got mauled. Roy got mauled by a tiger.
Wait, they're magicians?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a magic show. Now, people in the article were saying that this was like one of the greatest shows they've ever seen, and it was like spectacular, and you had to be there to like other magicians would come and watch them, and their mouths would drop on the floor.
Oh.
They were very impressed. I don't know. Are you a big magic person?
Oh, I like magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we talked a lot about things we don't like, but magic
you wouldn't like if we were out some night and a guy did a magic trick. You wouldn't like fuck him, would you?
What kind of trick?
That's a good question. Let's say he like, let's say he put a rubber ball like a foam ball in your hand, and you close your hand, then you opened it, and then the ball was in your pocket.
No, that wouldn't do it enough for me.
Okay.
So
what caliber of magic trick would make you cheat on your husband?
I don't know, like levitation. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably something like that.
You would cheat on me if a guy levitated. What if he walked on water?
I mean, like, you can't use that trick all the time. People would like try to study you for science.
Yeah.
No, I mean flying would be.
If
I mean, what do you want me to do if a guy could fly? If he could take me with him, can I fly too?
I guess he could carry you, but I don't know how that would affect his performance. Having a bunch of extra weight.
The fuck are you trying?
Because you can't fly a prop plane if it's too heavy. So I don't know if that you would like mess it up.
I'm my skinniest.
But you said
you burn like thousands of calories breastfeeding.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he could like pick you up in the air and fly you around, you'd.
No, I only want you, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I won't
weird,
cheat on you with a magic man.
Okay. Thanks.
Maybe Magic Mike.
Yeah.
You would cheat on me with Magic Mike.
No, I wouldn't.
Are you sure?
No.
You do have a high respect for the male form.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
You respect a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I can notice when a guy is good looking. Maybe even hot. I can say that's a hot guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike still thinks about this hot. Look, I can't say it. I'm choking. This hot stewardess that we had in a flight home from Italy.
Oh, from Italy, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty hot. But I only noticed him because he was like a hot version of me.
Right.
He was like he was like skinnier me, and he had like salt and pepper hair.
Yeah.
And he had and he was like tan, and he had a little bit of facial hair.
Yeah.
He was like if
you were gay, your boyfriend would look just like you.
You think?
Yeah, 'cause like you always look at old pictures of yourself and you're like, damn, I was hot.
Yeah.
And like anything that reflects your reflection, you always stare at it for a while.
But I don't know if I'd want to like
start
fuck
posing.
myself.
Oh, Are you sure?
If somebody looked like me, if a guy looked at me, would I want to fuck? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I would go like way different.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think if I was gay, I would have like a twink, like arm candy type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, like a hot like model type.
So you would be the masculine one.
The masculine one.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he would like
I didn't think,
he would
I
like
didn't pin
parade
you for
around.
That. Yeah.
You know, he would like parade around in like a tight T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and everybody would be like, "Wow, that guy's got a different hot guy on his arm every time he comes in here."
Yeah.
You know what? You want to know a weird thing about my dad? I was talking to like an uncle of mine who's like my dad's second cousin's husband, my Uncle John.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Maryland. I think you met him once, Aunt Carla's husband.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, your dad," because my family had a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh, your dad your dad really had a way with the ladies. He would just, I mean, almost every night he would show up with just a different beautiful woman at the restaurant."
Wow.
So I guess my dad has like some game. But
I mean, there's 4 kids in your family.
what does that mean though?
I don't know. Something.
But that means he fucked my mom 4 times.
Yeah.
That means he nutted in my mother 4 times.
At least.
Yeah. But that's really weird because like my dad is very quiet and doesn't really have any, so it just makes me feel like my dad might be a serial killer.
Well, maybe you guys drained all that from him. Maybe
But
he
he
used
doesn't
to be
have
a
any-
Casanova.
Yeah,
and now
but he
he's
doesn't
just
really.
gotten
But he doesn't. He has no like swag. He doesn't have any drip. You know, it's not like he has like style or anything. He's
Right.
just He's just like a little Italian guy, and
Mhm.
he's decent looking.
Imagine your parents got divorced and you had to be like the guy who gave him advice.
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad would find a new wife like the same day. He can't live without a woman. My mom would be single for the rest of her life, and she would love it.
Mm-hmm.
She would not even need to get fucked. She would just be so happy
Right.
to be on her own.
Mhm.
She would love her independence. She loves her independence
Yeah.
already. But my dad would like go. He would like go to the unemployment office and find a wife. But isn't that weird that my dad was like a ladies' man?
No, I feel like you are a ladies' man.
I am, but I'm like I'm a pretty
Oh,
open.
it makes sense for you.
It
is
makes
what you're-
sense for me because
Yeah.
I'm like funny and I like people and I like talking to people
so
and I'm
hot.
easy to, and I am hot.
Yeah.
I mean, my best years are behind me, but I was hot at one point. I mean, there was maybe like a 6-month window when I was legitimately hot.
Mhm.
The rest of that time was spent like eating pasta and ice cream and just being a little too overweight to be an actual hot guy, and not having enough money to like dress well.
But you used to have such fancy, brightly colored button downs.
But that was like before I sort of came into my own. That was when I was really young.
when you're trying to figure out
Yeah, I would wear like purple
what
shirts.
kind of hot guy you were.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what kind of hot guy I was. And I went through like a Guido phase for a little bit. And I wore like purple polo shirts. And like I had like
Did
a
you
yellow.
ever wear 2 polo
I had a
shirts at
yellow-
the same time?
Maybe once or twice, but I don't think very much.
Mm-hmm.
But I did go through like a minor where I thought I was a Guido,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't.
All right. Well,
That's
you had
not-
to try it on.
I had to try it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what kind of
Um,
hot guy were you?
I guess I was like a kind of a broody, like, well, you knew me when I was in my mid-20s. I was like a broody, like, comedian,
Mm-hmm.
like just like an angry dipshit.
Yeah. I remember thinking
Yeah. No one cares.
that you were much cuter in person than I thought you were because you were
On
just so
social-
grumpy on social media.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so that's Seigfried and
You'd be
Roy.
like, look at this room. It's filled with garbage. I'm going to pick it up. People are a disaster. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I did spend my hottest years picking up trash and doing open mics, which is pretty dumb. But anyway,
fun.
so that Seigfried and Roy article that I was talking about.
Yeah.
They so he got mauled by this tiger in 2003. Roy did. The tiger went for his jugular. He bit his jugular. The tiger was trying to kill him.
Right.
People, now there's a podcast, which everything's a fucking podcast nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I hate podcasts. I have no respect for people who do podcasts.
Right.
But there's a podcast that was trying to say that it might have been premeditated. It might have been an attempted murder.
Oh, like they rub sardine oil on his throat?
Something, yeah. Or there was some kind of and they were the motive is unclear, whether it's a scorned business partner or even homophobia. And I think that made me laugh so hard. Someone being oh, I fucking hate gay people so much. I'm going to make this guy's tiger attack him.
That's determination.
Yeah.
How did he?
That's you
how
really
did he feel about
hate
the tiger
gay
after
people.
he got attacked?
So the tiger's name was Manticore,
Uh-huh.
and he was a trainer of the tiger had said that their relationship, his relationship with the tiger, had sort of waned over the years, and that he wasn't really being taken care of that well, and he thought that definitely contributed to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then Seigfried and Roy denied that. So nobody really knows what happened, and then there was a lady with a beehive hairdo, and they thought maybe she had some kind of perfume in her hairdo that made the tiger go nuts.
Oh.
But I don't know. That
was
just
she
seems
an
really.
assistant?
No, she was in the audience.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were they mad at the tiger? I feel like people who get attacked, they're just well, animals, they belong in the wild, and they didn't mean it.
Yeah. They're that tiger made me $45 million a year.
Yeah. I'm fuck that tiger. He tried to kill me.
Yeah. Would you do that if your dog attacked you?
Frankie has growled at Benjamin a couple times, and I've wanted to
Hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scares me. Just because I think I told you a bunch of times that when I was little, I knew a girl who had a scarred eye, severely scarred eye, because her childhood dog bit her.
Yeah.
And the parents kept that dog.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. We got to be careful.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because the baby likes to touch Frankie, but Frankie doesn't like being touched by the baby.
Well, he doesn't like it if he's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a dog trainer coming in a month.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So Seigfried and Roy have passed away, but it is funny to think that somebody people think that it might have been a premeditated attack from the tiger because of homophobia.
The trainers in the background just doing empire signals.
Yeah.
For killing, and everyone's why is the tiger trying to kill the guy? And they're no, this is just the make the woman disappear from the box signal.
Yeah. So I guess what happened was the tiger put his hand on his foot. The tiger put his hand on his foot, and then Roy hit it with the microphone and said release, and the tiger released him. But then he put his hand on his foot again, and he tripped him, and then that's when he pounced on him. And then so a bunch of
Wait, the
trainers.
Tiger tripped him?
Yeah, so I think the tiger grabbed his arm.
Use paw so that I know who you're talking about.
The tiger grabbed Roy's arm.
With his paw or with his mouth?
With his paw.
Okay.
I think. And then he said release, and then he hit him with the microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the tiger
I
released.
didn't like that.
And then the tiger put his paw on his foot,
Mm-hmm.
and then Roy tripped, and then that's when the tiger went after him.
Oh.
And then what happened was a bunch
on
of people
stage in front of everyone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
Everyone's is this part of the act?
So Lisa Lampanelli had a joke. I don't know if it's her that wrote this joke, but she goes, "Wow, talk about turning a fruit into a vegetable."
Oh my god. Oh,
a great
no.
joke. I don't think she wrote that joke.
Yeah. Probably not.
But
Well, good
anyway.
thing she exists, because whoever else wrote it was like, all right, well, I can't ever say this, but I know
It was
who
Mike
can.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then going on Instagram and saying how we need to vote for Hillary.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so then a bunch of trainers came and they like sprayed the tiger with a fire extinguisher, and that didn't stop. So then they took the fire extinguisher and they started beating the tiger with it.
Oh, my God.
And that made him like release.
On the stage.
And Roy almost died. Yeah. But then he didn't. He was fine.
Wow.
Well, he survived. He survived the tiger attack. But he was mauled by a tiger on stage.
Yeah, I do want to meet a panda, but they don't have any sort of aggression. They don't have enough energy to kill anyone.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't need to be near any large wild animals.
Now, when you say meet a panda, you want to be like next to the panda.
I want
in the enclosure.
Like, have you ever seen the videos of the woman who's trying to sweep the panda cage? And the pandas just keep jumping in her basket.
Tommy Pope's dad
of
is
leaves.
a zookeeper. Maybe I can talk to him.
Well, there aren't that many pandas. I think we'd have to go to China.
Yeah, but I think Tommy Pope's dad like dressed up as a zookeeper to feed them. He dressed up as a panda to feed the pandas.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
I would love, that's my number one dream.
To meet a panda?
To meet a panda. Did you ever see that movie, The Great Panda Adventure, or something like that?
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch it?
Yeah. That kid just
It's
got
about
to...
a white kid that rescues a panda in China, though.
And he gets to just run
It's a little
around
fucked up, if you
holding,
ask me.
carrying the panda.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, he's the luckiest kid.
Oh, yeah. You know that panda's probably dead.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, in other news, what is the stock market doing right now? The stock market's being very weird. I don't know what's happening. A lot of people like made money in 2021. They made pretty good money, and now everything is certain stocks are down 50, 60, 70%.
Yeah, my Apple and Disney were both down. Usually those are pretty good.
Yeah. The market's being weird, and they're saying that Bitcoin is crashing right now. Bitcoin is down to 42,000. I don't know. It's like a weird time. It's a weird time to be an investor.
I'm just not going to worry about it. But yeah, everything I have is down.
Mm-hmm.
AMC's now at $22.75. I don't know if I should sell it or wait. What are you guys doing? Are you holding the line? Do you have any AMC left?
No.
Oh, what'd you sell it at?
Probably like 37 or something.
Yeah, I sold a lot of it in the 30s.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I just don't know if people's attention spans are that sharp for it to like come. Like, what you're gonna need a lot of people to buy back into AMC, and it just feels like people don't have the attention to, especially if the media doesn't want to. But when that happened, that was one of the most blatant examples of like just the power structure that exists trying to take advantage of people.
That was exciting.
Trying to keep people out. It was exciting. It was very, very exciting.
Yeah, we should do
It
that
was maybe
again.
the happiest time of my life.
Can you get all your listeners to invest in AMC?
Maybe not AMC though. Maybe like a different company, like
Honest.
Yeah. Honest would be good. It's got to be something they have like a connection to, though.
Well, try the products. They're in Target.
Mm-hmm.
There's a variety of...
Yeah, wear the diapers.
Well, there's
maybe
also...
put them on your dog.
Soap.
Buy the soap. Get the lotion.
Yeah.
Put them on yourself.
$7 right now, the stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say that's my stock Deb tip. Everyone
Honest,
invest
it's $7.
in Honest. It's like 7 something.
That's low.
I know it's 7.40. Yesterday it was 8.50.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, who the hell knows?
Paid price 10.46, so I'm down on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Blech.
Yeah, it's just interesting because I feel like last year there was change, there was a new administration,
Yeah.
A lot of the green energy stocks were up. Beyond Meat was up, and now it's like it doesn't look like that the Build Back Better thing is going to happen. All the climate stuff. So now those companies are down again.
Yeah, Biden sucks.
It's a very like I don't know, how would you describe like from your perspective, how would you describe this administration? It just feels very
Useless.
like useless and just kind of
Unproductive.
blah and just sort of like
Yeah.
I
I miss
know.
Trump.
You don't miss
Trump
Trump.
2024. Woo!
I don't know if you
Yeah.
miss Trump.
I do miss Trump. I don't care about you and your. The only other person I want to be president is Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, I can't. I don't like Trump,
Yeah.
but I don't know how anyone can truly and honestly say that they like Biden.
Yeah.
And I think you're completely full of shit, and
Yeah.
you just like probably don't want to admit to yourself that Biden is no better than Trump,
But
and
it's
that you
just-
did not save the world by making sure Trump did not become president.
It's
again.
just very strange because, like, you would think that, okay, like, at least with Trump, we had a booming economy until
Mhm.
the pandemic, and then it crashed. But then it came back.
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of
it
funny
came back pretty
tweets.
quick.
Like,
a lot
he
of
did a
very
lot
funny tweets. He
for
did a lot.
us.
He did a lot for us.
All Biden did was tell Charlemagne the God he ain't black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people are like, but he's better than Trump. How? Did you listen? Did you hear his own voice?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I hate him so much.
Yeah, you would just think that in America the divide would be between like wealthier people and like average people, and then so like you would think that during a Trump administration you would have like your portfolio doing well, like people's 401ks are better and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. 9 more minutes and then you can go to bed.
Thank you.
And then you would think under a Democratic administration it would be like more progressive measures and we'd have a more equitable. Society would be more equitable and just better all
None
around.
of that bullshit.
But
Because
then
the Democrats
nothing
are
happened.
lazy losers who
Yeah.
just want to not work hard but maintain their fancy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And everybody who thinks that they are like going to change the world, you're wrong. You're
Yeah.
not going to.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many people you call to sway a vote, unless you're supporting Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supporting any sort of change, I don't think. And
Yeah.
maybe that you did read my horoscope, and apparently I was being negative. I didn't feel negative until I started doing this podcast. Maybe I'm pretty negative.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm usually positive,
You're allowed to be negative.
I guess.
Yeah.
I just think it's so dumb when people are huge advocates for anything political, and it's just all like these people don't care about anyone but themselves,
Yeah,
except
yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about some good news?
Do you have any?
Kind of.
What is it?
I found out about a conference in Salt Lake City called AlphaCon,
Ah.
where
Are
it's
you
like
wanting, did you buy tickets?
I kind of want to. They're
You're an alpha.
well, I am an alpha. Thank you. I've always felt that way about myself.
I'm
the
probably
tickets-
an alpha too.
You're an alpha female for sure. You're not a beta. I think I'm a sigma male.
What the hell does that mean?
I'll look it up. Because there's a thing called sigma.
Mm-hmm.
People were calling me a sigma male on TikTok, and I was like, what is sigma male personality? Sigma male personality is a self-sufficient, confident, and powerful enough to be an alpha. He allows potential partners to approach him in the same way that he allows friends and job prospects to approach him. Why is everyone talking about sigma males? What is sigma personality? So a sigma is like it's like a dominant introvert.
Right.
It's like somebody who's like not loud like an alpha. It's somebody who moves in silence, like
You
me,
like
and
that.
makes big moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money moves.
Big money moves, yeah. But anyway, so I was looking at AlphaCon, and I was looking at all the speakers that are going to be there. It's a
Mhm.
lot of like white guy influencers that you've never heard of
Mm.
that all sell sales courses. But there's one guy that's his name is the Bull.
Oh.
His name is I think Jeremiah the Bull Scott or Jeremiah
Like
the Bull
Bullfrog?
Evans. Yeah, his name. He's the bull. Yeah.
But that song
And,
like Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Was
Yeah,
a
I
good
guess, right?
friend of mine.
Yeah, I guess he fucked up. I guess he fucked that up. But he posted a photo of like him. So he's like a younger guy who's like, and his social media bio is like he's like multimillionaire before the age of 25. I'm a master motivator, and like he's like a motivational speaker type of guy. And so I was watching. First of all, he's got kind of a busted wife.
Oh.
Which you should never trust
Mike
somebody.
always judges people by their wife.
Well, I'm just saying you should never fuck.
Oh, I have to go
Well,
get our baby.
we got a crying baby. All right. That's it for Deb. Guys, I'm going to finish out the show. Thanks for being here, sweetheart. I know that was really hard for you to sit here and support me, but anyway, so I'm looking at this guy and I'm looking at his Jesus. I'm looking at his AlphaCon. The Bull, Bradley, Ian Wendt, Keaton Hoskins, Aaron Wagner, Tim Ballard. But so I'm looking through this guy's social media, and he posted a picture of him and his wife, on his. I just realized I don't think his wife is busted. I should take that back. She just looks like she's had some work done. But anyway, so I was looking at his social media, and he was like, "Merry Christmas from my family to yours," and he had like skinny jeans on that were ripped, and he had like people were like making fun of his jeans and his shoes, which is very funny. He had like ripped jeans, and the first, so somebody was like, tell me your husband's clothes are in the dryer without telling me your husband's clothes are in the dryer. And then he responded, he was like, tell me you have too much time on your hands. And then he wrote the clown emoji. And then somebody else was like, this is a beta response. And it kind of is, you know? So he responded to the first like hater comment, but then every comment was like, nice pants, gay wad, nice, like, boo, your clothes stink. You're wearing women's clothes. So I'm like, I don't know. But there is part of me that wants to go to. I kind of want to go to AlphaCon just to see what it's about. Then he had another video where he was like, guys, there's a famous comedian that shouted out to AlphaCon. It's Chris D'Elia. Which I thought was very funny. Now, Chris D'Elia was on his show, was like making fun of AlphaCon on his show. But he was like, Chris D'Elia, come to AlphaCon. You're more than welcome. Which is pretty funny to be like, oh, awesome. Guys, we got a shout out from known pedophile Chris D'Elia. God is good. God is good. Tap yes if you agree. So then I started looking at this guy's YouTube video. So a lot of these people who like sell, who sell courses and because I guess I guess his thing is sales, right? He does like sales coaching, which, yeah, all right. A lot of people do sales, and sales is part of life and everything. But I guess I want to know, like, what did you? Because that's what all these guys do. They do sales training. But I guess what I want to know is, what were you selling before you became the sales guru? What were you selling? Were you selling hot dogs? Were you selling watches? Were you selling cars? Were you selling health insurance? Were you selling timeshares? Were you selling whole life insurance? Whatever it is, I feel like it's got to be different for every product that you're selling, don't you think? So I don't understand why this 25-year-old kid is like an expert who's going to charge you hundreds or thousands of dollars for his courses. He made a video where he was like, guys, here's my top 3 investments. Number 1, he goes, so the title of the video is like, top 3 investments that have made me millions. And he goes, yeah, here's my top 3 investments that have made me millions. Number 1, my Lamborghini. A lot of people say, yeah, don't buy a new car, don't buy a performance car, but guys, I love my Lamborghini. And I'm in influencing, so, and I think he was trying to make the point that, like, people see his Lamborghini and then that makes them, that, I don't know what, that makes other retards want to give you more money? Like, what do you, so a Lamborghini costs what, like, what does it cost? Like half a million, I would think, right? So a Lamborghini costs $500,000. So that, because he said investments that made me millions. So did you buying that Lamborghini make you did that make you more? How did that make you money? Are people that brain dead that they see you driving a Lamborghini and they go like, wow, I got to do that. I got to buy, I have to take my money. You know? You have a Lamborghini, give me let me suck your cock because you have a Lamborghini. Then he said his number 2 investment was mentorships and paying for mentorships. Now, I don't know. Now that could be. I'm a guy who doesn't know any better. I don't know if these mentorships or courses actually do anything. I really don't know. Maybe paying Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, $1,000, which I think they're more than that. I think they're like $3,000 to his fucking courses. But yeah, maybe paying the Wolf of Wall Street $3,000 to hear him speak in platitudes is like beneficial for you. I don't know. I don't know exactly what these mentorships are what they do specifically. I would think that they would have to be specific to your field. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. But he was like, mentorships. He's like, I've paid hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars for dinners, for courses, just so I can learn and be the best version of myself. I don't know how. I don't know what is going on there. You know, I don't know if that's real or not, or if it's bullshit. It's probably bullshit because I don't think that. I don't think you can pay somebody money for information that you couldn't get in a book or just from talking to people in the field that you want to be in. It doesn't seem like there's any kind of like secret information, certainly that's worth thousands of dollars. And then he was like, lastly, my home gym. That's my big investment. Now, you're talking about investments that have made you money. I mean, having a gym, I'm sure, in your house is nice if you like working out. See, I don't really like working out at home, though. I really don't like it. I like going to the gym. You know? I like standing in front of a treadmill when a woman's on it and breathing heavily. No, I like having a place to go and work out that's sort of like a social thing. But I don't now I'm sure that's a good investment in your health or whatever, but I guess I don't see where having a gym makes you money. It seemed like he was just trying to sell his mentorship or push the idea of mentorships. Look, I don't know why I'm validating the guy who is the proponent of AlphaCon. This guy seems like a less honest Louis J. Gomez. You know? He seems like, at least Louis Lewis is ripping you off, but you kind of know that he is. You're kind of like, all right, yeah, Lewis, here's my fucking money. You just, you earned it. Lewis is good at. Lewis is very good at the cash grab. You gotta respect him. He knows how to make money. But yeah. So but at least with Lewis, it's like, all right, here, Lewis, yeah, I'll pay for live streaming a fucking Skankfest or whatever it is. But yeah, so I don't know. Don't buy any courses. It's just funny that I don't understand how there's so many of these guys. There's like so many of these fucking guys out there with at least 300,000 Instagram followers and a Lamborghini and a mansion and a boat, and I'm sure it's probably all rented and everything, but they're selling courses on sales. Aren't there books you can read for like $20 on how to sell stuff? And you're paying $1,000 for this guy to teach you how to do sales. It's very weird to me. Anyway, but that's all I got to say. I think that's the show. Thanks for listening if you're one of the people who are still listening to the show. And I will see you guys next week. Or I'll see you on Patreon, patreon.com/sitdownpod. And you can hear bonus episodes over there. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.